Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Coffee and Whimsy. I hope you all are having a wonderful, fabtilious morning. We're here to give you some wholesome vibes to kickstart your day. I'm Raeyn. You may know me, but probably not, as a streamer on Twitch, twitch.tv/wanderingstardust. You tell that I like stars. The audio-only people don't understand why I said that. Anywho, and this here is Cole.
And you don't know me.
No, but you hear stories about him if you watch my Twitch.
Yeah, I have no presence of my own anywhere.
And sometimes
Really.
he plays scary games with me, because I'm too scared to do it. You have a Twitter that they could follow if they wanted to chat.
I guess.
It's in the show notes. You can find it there.
What are we drinking today? I already forget. It's buttered something.
We're both drinking the same thing. It's a Target brand, like the Archer Farms, I think is what it's called. Whatever the, like...
It's either Market Pantry or Archer Farms.
It's
I think they have
something
both
like
of
that.
those.
Oh, that's confusing. Anywho, it's one of those, and it's called Buttery Caramel, or Buttered Caramel, or something to that effect. It's old. We've had it for a while. I was going through and cleaning out some stuff, and I was like, yikes. Maybe we should use up this coffee. You know the crazy thing about coffee? And this always kind of blew my mind when I worked in a cafe, is that you're supposed to use an entire freaking bag of coffee in a week. Who does that?
If you're a coffee fiend or you're making for more than just you.
I mean, shit, sometimes in the cafe we couldn't even do that.
Oh, shoot.
Are
Are we family friendly here or not?
This is an explicit stream now. I did find out when I was re-listening after I had posted it that I did say the F word right at the start.
Oh.
Because of course I did.
And you were all sure that it was like, oh, this is family friendly. This is a family friendly podcast.
Ronan, come here, buddy. Ronan. He still doesn't quite know his name yet, but we have Ronan and Albus switched. So for those of you watching the YouTube version, you might get a little surprise at some point. He's still kind of exploring this room, though. But yeah, what toasty warmness are you all having? If you're not having a toasty warmness, what are you doing to start your morning right? Are you having a
What? I hope that everyone is watching this visually, because what the heck was that if you just heard that? What are they supposed to get from that if they're just hearing this?
Bubbles.
Bubbles?
Bubbles. Yeah, bubbles. Fizzy drinks.
Like a soda or something?
Yeah. You know how some people, like you... Like, you've said this before, too, where if you have fizzy drinks in the morning, first thing in the morning, it's like, boom, to your system.
If you have cans of sparkling water or, like, very carbonated soda, if the very first thing you do when you wake up, you immediately run to your fridge, crack it open, and drink it, it burns so much better than normal. And I don't know how to explain it, but I've had other people tell me that that is also the case, that they've done it, so it's not just me.
So that implies that your normal pop consumption is for the burn?
Yes. I've always only ever drank soda and stuff because I like the bubbles and the carbonation. I could care less if it's actually soda or if it's like seltzer water or sparkling water.
What?
Is that not normal? The feeling of the carbonation's the best part. You can get flavor anywhere.
What? I hate the carbonation.
Well, yeah, we don't really drink soda either.
The carbonation is like the downside to a fizzy drink. It's like, one, it gives you painful nose burps, which I'm not about that. I hate that some. And then my eyes water. Oh, heck no. No, thank you.
Well, you're weird, so like...
Does it not give you painful nose burps that make your eyes water?
Not always.
Oh, man. I have to drink... If I have a single pop, I have to drink it over the course of like
Soda.
5 hours. I'm an Iowan, thank you very much.
I am also in Iowa, and I say soda.
I said I am an Iowan. You're not technically Iowan. Your blood may be, but you were not born here.
I was born in Michigan. It's not too far away.
But do they say pop or soda?
I don't know.
Hang on, I gotta find out. Anywho,
I mean, I remember that being a whole campaign here, like a while ago. It was at I think it was the Come and Go gas stations had like soda versus pop campaigns, where they had like the different cups, and you would grab the cup, which was the one that you say. So it's not just me.
Oh, Michigan also says pop. You're just weird.
Well, my sister says soda also.
Yeah, but she's from California, technically.
Well,
Do they say soda in California? Do they say soda in California? Soda is a preferred term in the Northeast, most of Florida, California, and pockets in the Midwest. So maybe your pocket of Michigan was where they said soda.
It could be the South where they just say cola.
Coke.
Or Coke, yeah.
Yeah. I still don't really
Everything's
get
a
that.
Coke. Well, it's like calling everything a tissue or caramel
Yeah, but I don't.
or a caramel or whatever the actual brand is.
Well, yeah, but hey, my yoga mat got delivered. The yoga mat I bought in March finally got delivered. Thanks. I don't understand how you do that order, though. I've always wanted to hear somebody do that in person. Be like, hello, yes, I would like a Sprite Coke, please.
You'd be like an orange Coke,
Can I have a lemon Coke, please?
basically.
Can I have a lemon lime twist Coke, please? That's so creepy.
I don't know. We're all over the place. None of these are the topics of
Yeah.
our podcast.
Yeah, it's all good, though. What have you been up to?
Ooblets!
Ooblets!
Ooblets happened. If you're
Ooblets
watching
did
on
happen.
YouTube, I'm wearing my Ooblets shirt that I got at PAX back in 2018.
Hey, we noticed a thing about his Ooblets shirt. My Little Mushroom, which was my starter Ooblet, it's got a butt. Can you all see that? It's got a little butt.
I've been wearing this in public, not knowing that's a thing for so long. And the one that I always say is her, but as an ooblet, is at the very top trying to look cool. Which is very fitting. And my starter one isn't on here.
What's that one? Clicky Clack? Clicky Claws?
Clicky Claws.
Clicky Claws is like is my profile picture on Steam because I felt so connected to it.
I also have like a really high quality enamel pin of Clicky Claws. It's over there.
Yeah, I mean, who's your ooblet? I mean, I feel like I haven't encountered nearly enough ooblets to know if you were to tell me, but I would look it up. But I think Clicky Claws, despite unfortunately being one of the OG ooblets that everybody's seen, I think that's the one. That's me. I am the little grumpy Clicky Claws that then puts on glasses to try and look cool.
I like Rad Lad,
Oh, I fucking love Rad Lad.
but I haven't met a Rad Lad.
Same! I just love in that one trailer where, like, this little Rad Lad's just running around with his rad long legs, and it's just like, oh my gosh, yes.
I feel like before we get too much into ooblets, though, we should go over other stuff we've been doing, because that's going to be like a majority of this first part, is probably ooblets talk. Otherwise, I 100%ed Super Hot. I beat it in 3 hours, and then ended up spending another 12 hours doing all the challenges and endless modes and stuff.
Yeah, me? Did I do anything this week? Did I do anything? I decided to be a witch.
My lord.
And that's kind of been taking up a lot of my time, but I don't want to go too into this because I kind of, in a way, would like to make this,
That could be its own,
its
whole own thing.
show, but yeah, just the short end of it is that I have wanted to be a witch for 17 years now. It all started once upon a time when little Raeyn was writing a story, and she wanted to really hard world build. She didn't know that was a thing at the time, though, but that's what she was doing. I'm gonna stop referring to myself in the third person. And I was researching magic because I wanted to have like a magic system that made sense to me. Ronan. He's like, I'm still kind of creeping a little bit.
Come here.
Look, it's your guys' first look at him.
Now you gotta watch the YouTube version so you can see a little row.
This is his first time being on camera. Like, I mean, I've taken some pictures to post on social media, but that's his first time being on camera.
He's
Good
immediately
boy.
gone.
He's like, I gotta explore.
That's okay. You can continue with your story.
So yeah, so I just used to like research magic and stuff, and I remember feeling super drawn to it, super intrigued by it, but kind of turned away from, again, not to go too hard into it, but like kind of turned off by the Wiccan aspect of it. I didn't want a religion. I'm not a religious person, never have been. Witchcraft isn't about to change that. And then recently I found out that where are you going, little boy? Stop that. That not all witches are Wiccan, and that not all Wiccans do witchcraft. And I was like, perfect. So I decided, screw it. I'm gonna do it. It's all because your sister wanted me to go with her to the metaphysical place and buy crystals, and I was like, I like rocks. And then I was there, and I was just like, like I just love this vibe. And like, I don't know. So anyway, we'll go into it more later. But basically, I've been doing a lot of research and awkward Michael's shopping. Buying things that the cashier was like, so what are you going to do with all this? And I was like, I don't know. With my candles and jars. And other things. So yeah, I think that's all I've been doing, really.
Interesting.
I don't think I've even played any video games. Have I?
Have you played any Animal Crossing or Sims?
Not
your
really.
Classics?
Not really. My wrist has been grumpy, so it's been not a lot of gaming for me.
I've been trying to go back and... It's not like really a personal journal, but I've been trying to go back to my like media / like art journal thing. Where it's like to avoid just consuming stuff for the sake of consuming. I have to journal about it after I like beat, read, watch. Just like play a thing, just to like think about it on a slightly deeper level, so it's more engaging or more enriching. And I have such a backlog to enter in there that like I started putting a couple more entries in there, but
I think what we need to do is kind of what we talked about before, but then some like real life stuff has come up recently. But we need to just set a time where we both like just sit down and like actually dedicate to whatever sort of journaling we want to do. Journaling is so beneficial, you all. If you don't do it, you really should. You really should. Science is with me on this one. Hello, little friend. Would you like to journal with us?
you can't let him keep interrupting.
I know, but he's so heckin' cute. Everybody will understand. This is only his second time being, like, over here. This is also what we've been up to, though, is trying to incredibly slowly introduce the two kittens. Right?
I mean, introduce is strong words.
Well, yeah, they haven't seen each other yet, and that's the point. Anywho, into Ooblets! For those of you who do not know, Ooblets is a video game that I have been following for, oh, holy heck, I don't even know how long at this point.
It is developed by Glumberland, I believe is the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it's been, like, years in the making. Like I said, it was at PAX 2018 when I went there, and it had been in development for probably years before even that. Like,
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
I feel like I somehow found out about it kind of right at the start when they first started posting, like, pictures and stuff of what they were doing. And basically, it's Pokemon. No, how did that one person describe it?
Well, how I described it even before that person, it's Stardew Valley, but Pokemon.
It's Stardew
Like,
Valley, but you grow your Pokemon.
Yeah, you grow your own Pokemon. It's like the parts of Pokemon I like, where it's just like the little creature collection and having cute little friends, without the like other RPG aspects of Pokemon, and it's mixed with the farming sim stuff, which is super relaxing and fun.
And there's like decorating and stuff, which I've always been a little bummed about Stardew, is just by nature, due to the pixel nature of Stardew. Like, you can't really customize a whole lot. Like, yeah, you can like stick a table in your house, but it's not, super customizable. And having come from Animal Crossing and The Sims, two of my very favorite video games, I very much appreciate the being able to decorate, you can get fashion items. I did get a witch hat. Number one item I purchased, the very first thing. painted the outside of my house accidentally and made it very cute. It's just so perfect. Also, it really commits to its style in every possible way. Like, the dialogue, it has, like, these weird terms, so it'll be, like...
They call coffee, like, bean juice.
Yeah.
Like, some of it's just very on the nose, like, if you're taking a very, like, literal interpretation of a thing.
Uh-huh.
But, like, you slant it in, like, a silly way.
It's just, like, everything about it is just cute. And, like, I don't know why I like it. I honestly feel like past me would have hated that aspect of it, of how, like, cutesy it's not cutesy in, like, a infantile way, though.
Part of it, I feel, is more snarky than cutesy.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, I wouldn't describe... I mean, it's a cute art style, but a lot of the dialogue and just, like, the names of things is more snarky.
But it also has the kind of cutesy aspect. So it's like, instead of saying wishes, you have wishies. It's like, these are my wishies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my wishies to the well. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm genuinely surprised that I like that part of it.
Well, you're not allowed to like anything cute.
Sometimes cute just verges on childish.
Yes.
In
but
a
you're
way that I
child.
don't. I am not. I
Basically.
am an adult woman who just held on to her childlike wonder. I'm in awe of everything around me. Filled with joy.
I like cute things. So I like the cute stuff.
Which is why
I joined the club for cute cuties.
Yes.
Or like, what was it? Like sweet cuties who love cute things or whatever was the club. It was like, well, and it has buns in the name, like little bunnies. It's like fun buns.
Yeah. It was the most perfect group possible.
I have no idea if the actual clubs matter yet. I played like 6 hours of it, and I haven't even like been able to enter my club's clubhouse yet.
We should also state that it is in early access at the moment. It's available on Epic and Xbox.
It's on Xbox, like early preview or early access. Then yeah, it's on the Epic Game Store in early access.
So it's not, by any means complete. I haven't found any bugs. I know some people have been.
I thought I broke my game the other day. I went to go behind, because it's hard to talk to some people in this game, because you have to get, like, within a certain... It's like you have to find the right distance to, like, interact with some people sometimes. And the person in the cafe, like, the cafe owner, is behind a counter, and it's like you can't really talk to her from across the counter. So I went to go behind the counter, and then when I went to talk to her, my person walked, like, behind into a corner, and then I couldn't walk out when I was done talking to her, because it's like a horseshoe-shaped counter or whatever, so there's only one exit, and she was blocking the other way. And I couldn't get out, and then the game auto-saved while I was back there.
Oh, no!
So I was so afraid I broke my game. I eventually was able to, like, just get out by brute forcing my way past her, but
Oh my
I was
gosh.
very scared. But yeah, I haven't encountered any other, like,
I have
bad
heard
bugs.
some kind of silly but easily fixable bugs where, like, you try to enter a level 2 dance. Oh, we forgot to mention how... Okay,
Oh,
anyway.
the dance parties or the dance battles?
You enter a level 2 battle, and the game will just, like, freeze. And apparently all you have to do is update your graphics card.
Oh.
So it's like, I think we're fine because we're pretty much up to date, but, like,
I
if you
updated yours
aren't...
not too long ago.
Yeah.
It must be like an older build of graphics drivers.
But yeah, that's something else that we forgot to mention is... Okay, so it's Stardew Valley, where you grow your Pokemon, and instead of fighting because they like it...
They dance
then
battle because they
fainting.
like it.
Yeah, they dance battle, and it's so good.
And then if you win, you go and you tell the opponent that they did a great job, and then they give you a little seed that you can plant to grow that ooblet.
It's so perfect. I love it so much. Even as a child, I remember not being... Like, I've never played a Pokemon game. Part of it was just because I didn't have one growing up, and part of it was because I was always uncomfortable about the fact that, like, they look so sad when they... Like, watching the show, I would watch a show as a kid, and I'd be like, oh my god, they look so sad when they're, like, beating the hell out of each other. And then they just, like, pass out, and it's like, oh, babies. And then the whole, like, reason behind it is like, oh yeah, they just like it. And it's like, what? It's such a wacko theory. And I guess if you just didn't really ever think about it,
It's not really a theory. It is in the dialogue, but they put that in there.
It's
like,
just,
it wasn't real. I mean,
is
feel like
that
that's
just
something
what
they
the
added
people are
later.
saying, or
The people
is
in
it
the game?
genuinely true? That's what I mean. Though.
Black and White, the Pokemon game's Black and White, like, the whole story is based around that. It's basically PETA's argument against Pokemon, like, addressed in one of the mainstream games.
Oh my god. I mean, it has always made me feel uncomfortable about it, which is why Pokemon Go is the only Pokemon game I've ever played, because you just catch them. Mm-hmm. And then they get to live in, presumably, a very spacious ball, because I don't understand exactly what happens to them in the ball. I try not to think about that part. But yeah, in Ooblets, they just dance battle. They boogie down.
Well, and then they all follow you. So, like, one thing that, like, that Pokemon can't seem to get right is consistently letting at least even a Pokemon just follow you in the overworld when you're wandering. Like, they've done it a couple times, but then it's like, for the most recent ones on Switch, they, like for Sword and Shield anyway, they let you, like, they don't let you do that unless you buy the DLC and beat it. And it's like, well, Ooblets lets you have, like, 8 of them follow you at once.
Yeah.
Then the rest either help you on your farm if you build little, like, coops for them, or they'll just wander around on your farm if they have nothing else to do.
Far. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I also love the character designs.
Taffy is the best character.
Well,
well,
that's your opinion, and that's fine.
I feel like we should leave it at that, because I feel like people need to experience Taffy for themselves.
I agree. But I absolutely love the character designs. I feel like I was streaming it the other day, and I feel like every new character I encountered, I would be like,
this is my favorite one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're so cute. Oh my god, this person's so cute. Oh my god, this person's so cute. Like, their, like, fashion is on point. It's very nice.
Well, that's another thing that's, like, we kind of touched on, where it's like something like Stardew can't really let you do it because of how small and pixelated the characters are. But, like, you can have very distinct fashion in this game. Mm-hmm. Like, you can have, like, dresses or shirts, shorts, pants, like, sweaters, jackets, like...
My one single gripe with this here video game. How come you can only have natural hair colors at the beginning and pink, but me... a blue-haired person, I know it doesn't look... I mean, he doesn't look pink either at the moment.
It was pink.
How come me, a blue-haired, has to go into the shop and spend my well-earned gummies to make my hair blue?
Because reasons. Because they knew they were making this game for me. This game was literally made...
it before you
did.
This
was made for me. Well, but they were still making it for me. They've never met me. They don't know who I am, but they were still making it for me.
Right.
So they had to let me choose pink off the bat.
You and Livy, so that she can also have her pink hair. You two can both just have your perfect pink hair, and then I have to spend money on mine.
Also, pink might as well be a natural color. Why not?
That's how I feel about my blue, but it ain't natural.
It is a weird choice. It should be like, just choose whatever color you want off the bat, or have it just be natural colors.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Because like, thematically, you're moving to this weird world. Like, you're coming from a place that's not that weird, I don't think, and then you're moving to this weird place. Not that dyed hair's that weird, but...
it's unusual, though.
Yeah, but it's like everyone in this town has...
Yeah.
There's this one person on the dock, which I didn't realize until I was watching you play, that their hair color changes, like, consistently.
Have you verified that in your game?
His hair's white in mine. It was black when you first got there. The next day in game, it was blue.
Yeah.
And then when I turned on my game to play it, it was white.
Nice. He's got a lot of gummies.
And it's like, that was just like a weird little touch that I didn't even notice. Because I had played a number of in-game days before you even played it and never noticed.
Yeah. Well, one of the other things that, like...
everyone's dancing.
Yes!
Not only are the Ooblets just dancing, like, you're doing dance battles, but then you go into the town and, like, Taffy's breaking it down, and the mayor's doing, like, a box dance.
The mayor, yeah.
There's, like, a camper that's, like, going hard next to the plaza.
Well, then one day, as we were walking by, we were like, wait, those people are doing patty cake. They're just doing patty cake, because why not?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's good. One of the things that I'm hoping is going to be, like, expanded on is the actual characters themselves, because some of them say, like, it seems to be just kind of a rotation of what they say. Like, they'll all kind of end up saying the same thing, I think.
The people who aren't, like, the friends.
Yeah.
So, like, there's like 8 or 10. There's an amount of them that you can actually, like, build friendships with and get, like, friendship stickers that will say, like, unique things to them. But then everyone else will just basically pick from a pot of things to say.
Yeah.
So it's like, you'll talk to 2 people in the same day and they'll say the same thing on other sides of the town. It's like, they're less interesting. Like, I find myself not talking to them that much.
Right.
I just talk to the actual, like, friends.
Yeah. Because it's like, I would like to, because, again, they have heckin' cool designs usually, but it's like, if I... Not to make it sound like friendship is transactional, but if I'm not going to get anything from that time, like, I'm not going to get a new fun dialogue, or I'm not going to learn about them as a person because they're just, like, generic, I guess, it's like, I don't really want to spend any time
Well,
on
it's like
that.
I've talked enough to them to see the rotation, and since
Yeah.
they're repeating themselves, I've kind of just found myself not doing
Yeah.
it. But
I really hope that that's something that can get expanded
I mean,
on.
they can always add more lines, I'm
Right.
sure. Apparently, there was a bug that they fixed that was just locking items in the store. So it's like there were just items on rotation that weren't showing up in the store, like clothing, that they hot fixed to show up. And it's like, that kind of just, does that count as like, as an add-on? If it was just like a little bug that was keeping some clothing items from going into the store, does fixing that and having those show up, could you just be like, hey, they've already updated to add more clothing?
Hey,
Like that, like
true,
that's the only
true.
other bug that I know of where it's like, I think people, like, you could have just not said it was a bug and just be like, hey, we're adding more clothing to the store.
We never would have known.
Yeah, because it's such a little thing, and again, it's like the type of thing where it's like,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't, there's nothing game breaking so far that I know of. There's just
Yeah.
little quirks here and there. A lot of it I think is just with movement, like where like
I have been
people move sometimes.
I have been having issues with getting indoors sometimes, which is really, honestly, really common in games. I've been
the
having
ooblets
issues.
also, and I don't know if it's something, I don't mean to cut you off, but it was kind of related to doors, where like you'll go inside a building, go out of a building, and your ooblets will be stuck on the inside of the door, just like hopping.
Oh, I haven't really had that, but I've had where like my ooblets in front, like they got up in front of me, and then I'm trying to go to the door, and the oob's just like chilling, and I'm like, oob, move. Ooh, maybe a move option would be nice. In WoW, I have that ability where I can tell my pet to like go someplace.
One time your ooblet went inside the building before you did, like it was keeping you from going in, and then it just went inside.
It just like phased through the door, and I was like, hello? Hello? I'm trying to go in here.
I feel like there's also good consistent. Like I was surprised there was, or I was not surprised. I was afraid there wasn't going to be enough to do.
I think Ronan just did something.
They're just messing around. They're fine.
I think he just knocked something down.
I
though.
found it sounded like clothing or cloth or pet bags or something. I don't know.
Weird.
Anyway, I was afraid that there wasn't going to be enough to do. Like,
Yeah.
especially with it being an early access, I was like, oh, maybe it's just like the basics, and then, which I mean, it still kind of maybe is, but there's a lot to it. So it's like, I feel like I'm still consistently finding more tasks to do, like fixing places up, or I just opened the dance barn, like that you can do little like tournaments in that I haven't even been in yet. You can fix the hot air balloon to fly to another town, which I was working on.
Well, I saw somebody on Twitter who had like a massive farm, like not a garden, a farm, and I was like, whoa! I didn't know you could expand that big. So like that's
No, I
pretty
mean
cool.
it goes down quite a ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't want to manage that type of farm. I would need more.
Right.
I would need more sprinklers.
Right.
I feel like
Just like in real life.
it's the type of game where, I mean, and that's just not how I play these games. Like even in Stardew, I just make enough of a farm to like sustain myself, just to make some money, and then like if I need those crops to like give to the community center or something, I'll do that. But I don't, like, some people go hard and like they'll make the entire thing farms, and their whole sole goal is to make all the money.
Oh my gosh.
That's just not how I play these.
No,
like,
same. Especially since I want more to spend time with.
that's
This is one of our viewers, Ems, one of our mods. She sometimes will give me grief in various games because I'm not making like all the money, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I'm mostly broke, but it's cool. I have, like whatever weird thing that I'm doing.
Well, it's like going back to Stardew, I would focus more on doing the heart events with the other town members, and like
Same.
I would grow stuff and make things if it was something that other people would like.
Yeah.
So like I'd grow coffee beans and make coffee for Harvey because that's like his favorite thing, or like I would give peppers to Shane when that's the season.
Yeah.
But like I would never. It's like I'd rather spend the time talking to all the people each day
Yeah.
and doing stuff, and supplement that with like fishing and whatnot
Plus,
than managing my farm the whole day. But
I usually want animals more too, so I usually go for more of like a ranch. where it's like I have all the animals and then like a little
I
farm
like don't
area.
really bother. I mean, I have like one of each.
Oh no, I like to have the animals. I go hard on the animals. But we need to check on little Ro. And in the meantime, you all can take a little listen to our sponsor. We'll be back. We'll be back shortly. Are you listening to this show with your own warm, or I guess iced, cup of coffee? If not, what are you doing? This is a chill cafe show. You gotta get ready for the vibe. Just kidding. I know it's not everybody's thing, but if it is yours, have you heard of Grinding Coffee Co.? Grinding Coffee Co. is a black LGBT plus affiliated and owned coffee business that is aimed at providing coffee to gamers. They serve high quality premium coffees to customers around the world, and 50% of all company branded merchandise such as hats, mugs, shirts, etc. is donated directly to charity. Use coupon code STARDUST at checkout to receive 13% off your order. That's coupon code STARDUST, STARDUST, at checkout. Welcome back, everyone. We're back for part 2, and we're gonna get to the main discussion of today's show, which is, are you low-key cursed? I'm low-key cursed. Not Loki, as in the Norse god, though maybe he's responsible, considering what he is. Low-key cursed.
I'm pretty medium to high key cursed, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
later.
I would
We
agree.
should ramp it up.
I would agree with that assessment. So, I don't even remember why you came up with this term, but it applies to my life perfectly.
It's basically just like little. I'm trying to think of how to. I haven't really thought of a great way to actually describe it, but it's like things that commonly happen that are like minor nuisances. That would be the low key part.
Yeah.
Would be like minor nuisances that seem to consistently happen either in the same place or when you do a certain thing. When you do it, it consistently happens.
Yeah. So one of my dumbest low key curses was when we were working at Barnes and Noble. Actually, the year you were there was the only year it didn't happen. Is it because you're my anti-curse?
No.
Oh, maybe. Anyway, I was there for many years. Every Christmas season. For 3 Christmases. Because the last one was my 4th one. For 3 holiday seasons in a row, I would do this thing where I would just, for no reason, completely knock over an entire thing of Tazo chai tea on the floor, everywhere, make the hugest mess, go mop it up. Psych, you can't mop up Tazo chai tea. Then the floor is just eternally sticky for the rest of the shift. Everybody's wandering around and you constantly hear that sound of like people being sticky and stuck. It was disgusting. It was horrible. I never did it any other time of the year. I never spilled the entire thing of Tazo any other time. It was only during the holidays. Now you may say, Raeyn, there's a very obvious solution to this. You're busier during the holidays. No, I didn't even have to be busy. One of the times I did it was like the nighttime and there was one customer and I just knocked the whole damn thing over. Also during like a state fair, it gets pretty busy. Of course, people are getting all of their frappuccinos, but it was just a weird thing that I would do consistently. Usually at least a couple times during the season. And it sucked. Another low-key curse of mine. I have to look up because I forgot. I have so many of them. The Sims. Why is my Sims so cursed? Why is my Sims experience so weird? So I didn't know it was weird until people who watch my Twitch started telling me that I have a weird Sims experience. In The Sims, everything catches on fire for me constantly. Hell, the other day we were streaming The Sims 3, and the same thing caught on fire twice within 5 minutes. Like, what the hell? Hi, Albus. We've switched cats, so now if you see a little white kitten, it's going to be Albie.
The other white kitty.
Yeah, right.
Because somehow we now have 2 white kitties.
What a wild time. Is that a low-key curse? Or is that a low-key blessing?
That's a blessing. That's a low-key blessing.
Time will tell.
Well, yeah. It depends.
But yeah, it's weird. In The Sims, my Sims die all the time, which, like, all of my friends are like, I've never had a Sims die. Which, how? One time, I had a koi pond in the backyard, which I didn't even know you could go inside of to begin with. And I was looking at the Sims toddler child. And then the toddler child started walking outside, and so I followed the toddler child, only to find that mother was dead in the koi pond. And I was like, ooh!
Oh my gosh.
I save scrubbed. Real hard on that one.
Save scummed?
Damn it, I thought it was save scrub.
I mean, you're a scrub if you save scum.
Yes, I am. And I had to do it in The Sims.
That's like that's a horror movie.
It was! It was
like,
awful!
You're just watching a toddler live their best life,
Yes!
and they walk outside to see mom dead.
Yes! She was sitting, the little toddler was just sitting on the couch being cute, and I was like, oh, this is adorable, I'm gonna take some screenshots. And then, like, we fucking go outside together, and mom's just floating in the koi pond, which, like I said, I didn't even know you could get in. How did she die? I hit my leg so hard, it reflexed. I did it again. Very weird. I also had a sim one time who, she was kind of homeless, and so she was at a pool, and she was going to sleep on the bench at the pool, okay? She was hella tired. And so I was like, okay, sleep. So she did. But then all of a sudden, the Grim Reaper song started, and I was like, what the fuck? Why is my sim dead? And I turned to look. She had gotten up from her sleep, decided to swim, fell asleep in the pool, and died. And I was like, what? I'm low-key cursed.
I think my lowest key, and it's not really even, I don't even know if it's me. It's more like, I think my PlayStation's just cursed or haunted. Because, like, sometimes I'll just hear beeps, and it'll have turned itself on its own and eject the disc, and then I can't put the disc back in. Mm-hmm. And then one time, I was messing with it for like 5 minutes trying to put the disc back in, and it wasn't working, so I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and actually got to turn on, because it wasn't turning on either. Like, I couldn't get it to the home screen, couldn't do anything. Got to the home screen, put the disc in, and then it would just say that it wasn't a supported format. when my PS4 disc was in its PS4.
Mm-hmm. Well, and your computer sometimes just turns on for no reason. Like, there are times where, like, you're at work, or, I'll be in the living room, and then I'll just hear your computer turn on. And it's not because Albus, like, messed with the mouse and woke it up or anything, because he'll be, like, sitting on me. It's so weird.
This is the first I'm hearing of this. Is my technology just cursed?
I think so.
Well, because I've also, and this could just be the the service too, but whenever we try to watch anime on Crunchyroll, half the time when we log in, or we go to log in, it tells me to sign in. And we'll sit there for like ever.
It is so annoying.
We know that it will log us in eventually, but sometimes it just doesn't do it. So then I go in to start typing it in. I type maybe halfway through my email, and then it logs me in.
Dude, your technology cursed because your phone and the music.
Oh yeah, my phone kept restarting. My phone, my music kept restarting yesterday. Like, I would be like, hey, I just found Blue October, and I was trying to have you listen to these songs, and it would get maybe like 30 seconds in, and then without me touching anywhere on here, it went back to the beginning. Uh-huh. So I was like, oh, that was weird, which maybe, like, it wasn't locked, so I thought maybe I did touch it. So then I locked the screen and had it go, so I couldn't even touch any of the music controls, and then it did it on its own then, too.
It did it like 5, 7,
I eventually
10
just turned
yesterday.
my phone off, because it was glitching weird. I feel like my phone's been glitching, where it's like, sometimes I'll go over to, like, the news feed, and then I can't get back to the home, or, like, I'll get it over, and it'll just, like, shake, and I can't do anything until it figures itself out.
Your technology cursed! That's your low-key curse.
I think I didn't figure that out until right now.
I know, right? Wow.
That doesn't bode well for my medium to high key curse, because that has to do with cars. That's technology.
I don't know if that's mechanics.
I guess.
That's a machine. So it might be different. Are phones
Maybe.
considered machines?
Yeah. Tiny
Machines, huh? You're machine cursed? Okay, we can up the stakes a little bit because my next curse is also kind of a pretty medium key curse. But first, we're going to get into a listener low-key curse. This is from Timber. Hey, Timber. How's it going? So, Timber has a couple low-key curses, also to varying degrees of seriousness. The most serious is that I seem to have a sort of monkey's paw curse, wherein I will sometimes get what I want, but for reasons that aren't the best, or with caveats. The most prescient example is probably how not long before COVID happened, I was like, I actually like masks as a fashion accessory. Kind of wish they'd become a popular fashion. Which, like, I do... and then he also attached a picture that's been his, like, Twitter profile picture since October, which I do remember is it looks like a Snapchat filter, and then it has, like, a mask on it. And it's like, ooh, whoops, this isn't how I wanted that to happen. But I've also had things like wishing my refrigerator door wouldn't slowly close as I was looking at it, which then happened, but at the expense of the door swingy bit. I don't know if it's the hinge. Getting friction for some reason, so it would squeak when you opened and closed it. So it's like instead of being slow, now it just squeaks the whole time.
Or it's like I got faster at the expense of now being audibly annoying.
Right. Or the time when I had to sneak around to use the family computer because I was grounded from it due to bad grades, and I wished it would make less noise while it was on. And it stopped making as much noise because the fan stopped. And then it ended up overheating, and the graphics card eventually got fried. Those are the 3 examples that kind of stand out. That's amazing. Oh, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. There's also the whole thing of, like, being a modern-day Cassandra, as in, like, the Oracle of Delphi. Which, yes, I hear you on this, too. Where, like, you suggest something to someone, or, like, somebody comes to you with advice, and you give them advice, and then they just ignore it, or they do the opposite, and then you end up being right in the end, and then it's like, told you. But hindsight and all that, you know? But yeah, my mid-level curse. My mid to yours is more serious than mine for reasons that we'll get into.
Yeah.
Mine's more
There's
mid-level.
one very important difference.
Yes. My mid-level curse, which I hope has been lifted, but I'm not sure. Actually, this is real wood. There was a period of time where I had 5 car accidents, and I was only in the car for one of them. I had 4 hit and run. No, I had, okay, the very first one, I knew who did it. It was in high school during play practice. He came in, went to our director, was like, I hit a car. And she was like, hey, does anybody have this car? And I was like, oh, fuck. And what was really weird was, as soon as I saw them talking about it, I had a sinking feeling in my stomach, and I don't really know why. And then as soon as she said, hey, does anybody have a vehicle, like, my stomach just dropped. And I don't know why. I don't know why I was so weirdly paranoid about it.
I think it's because you're just always afraid it is going to be yours. Like, that's like, I don't know, car stuff is stuff that no one wants to have to deal with.
Right? But why would I don't even know. But anyway, and then she said my car, and I was like, yep, I'm the only one with that old thing, so, yep. But he had just rear-ended the back of it, so it was still okay. It was still drivable, it was just fucked up. Then, 2 weeks later, I think, I was going to pick up my sister from track practice. It was our mother's birthday. And a lady ran a stop sign and totaled that car. And I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Then a few years after that, I had my car sitting out on the curb. It wasn't on the curb, it was on the street. And there was a real bad thunderstorm. And it was like 3 a.m. And I remember hearing what I at the time thought was a semi-trailer falling down. I don't know why that's what I thought, but that's what I thought it sounded like. And I once again had this really weird sinking feeling of, that was my car. I don't know why I thought that, considering I thought it was a semi-trailer. Well, the next day, I went out to drive my car, and it would not stop turning right. And I was like, what is happening? Come to find out, somebody hit my car in the middle of the night, broke my axle, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But I didn't notice it at the time, because the tire was just kind of like that, and it was raining really hard, so I couldn't see it. Then, I moved out of town, went to a new city for college. I had only been there 1, maybe 2 weeks, and somebody was doing donuts out in the parking lot at 1 a.m. in the morning. And then I heard a crash, and I thought, that's my car. And so I looked out the window, but there were 3 dark-colored Tauruses in that parking lot. I had a black one, somebody else had a dark red one, and somebody else had a dark green one. But it was nighttime. I couldn't see very well. And I couldn't remember exactly where I had parked, but I thought I had parked right outside the door. So when I looked out the window, I was like, nope, my car's good. And then I ignored it. Until the cops came banging on my door, and I was like, no! And so, yeah, they had creamed my car. And then the last one was just somebody knocked my mirror off my car one time.
I feel like listening to that, you're higher key cursed than me, as far as cars.
I don't know. Like the mirror one, I just remember being so relieved, honestly. Because that time I went out to my car, saw that my mirror was gone, and was like, oh, thank God, it's just the mirror. Like, thank you. So,
It's like my...
that was on Valentine's Day, too, by the way.
It's like I am also car cursed, but in a very specific location. So it's like, it actually kind of happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
The first time was with I was with the Sob. I was driving to your
Oh, yeah.
mom's house or
Dad's.
It was your dad's house. And I got to a specific street and went to a specific light and had to stop there. And while I was stopped there at the light, my car just turned off.
I've had that happen, too. Worst feeling in the world.
And of course, the people behind me would be like honking, and I'm like,
Oh
I have my
God.
hazards on, and they're still honking at me, and it's like,
What more do you want me to do?
I literally got out of my car and like did one of these, or I'm like, what? You tell me what to do, because like I've been trying to turn this on. I eventually got it to turn back on, and then drove home because it's like I don't want to get stuck further.
No, you
away
were
from
actually
home.
going to my mom's for that one. But then it happened a second time on the way
going
to
your
Dad's.
dad's because it was the same route. So I went down. I was trying to go. I thought we had it figured out. We did something else. We thought it was good. I was going that same route. Got to that basically the same spot. I just wasn't stopped at that light, but I was at that same part of the street, and my car like turned off while I was rolling. So basically, I had to like do the really hard not power steering thing to try to turn the car onto a side street. With just whatever momentum I had and like braking.
Yes.
And it's like, that wasn't fun. But then my other car curse is
I forgot that happened in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Shit, we're both car cursed.
But then my other one was at my college, at the community college, DMAC, Des Moines Area Community College. In their parking lot, I've had 3 car problems. And so, like, the first one was with the Sub. I was leaving during... Well, 2 of them were during winter, but only one of them was actually winter weather related. The first one was, like, I was coming home. I was pulling out of that parking lot, going out onto the main street, and then someone ran a red light, going, like, 55, tore the bumper off my car.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like there wasn't really much I could have done there. It's like, the way it's set up, someone was next to me because they were turning left, and then there was me. And then... I was going straight because I waited or whatever, but you can't really see super well down there. Plus, it's so fast that, like...
Yes.
So I, like, did the whatever, started going out, and then they just whip out and then tear my bumper off and then total that car. So that was a whole ordeal. Then I get a different car, and then maybe half a year later, however much later, like another couple semesters pass, and as I park my car in the DMAC parking lot, the overheating light turns on. Like, I had just parked the car. Like, it wasn't even, like, turning on as I was getting there. I had already parked. And then, yeah, I had no coolant at all. Like, it's not even that it was low on coolant and was, like, overheating. It had none. Like, it was dry. So it's like, how did it wait for me to get to DMAC to do that? Like, how did I do this, like, 20-30 minute drive to DMAC and then just perfectly park and then have no coolant at all whatsoever? So that was another thing. And then later in that year, it was winter again. It was really bad weather that morning. Like, it was a lot of ice.
Yeah.
It was just really bad, but, like, I was being super careful. Got all the way 30 minute drive. Like, it was just really long. Got to DMAC. When I pulling into DMAC, there's a turn. It's kind of a curve. And this is also, like, it feels like one of those nightmares you have where it's, like, it was on finals day. I was going to take a final. And I pull in, and as I'm trying to start making that turn, my car starts sliding sideways in a way that, like, I can't really even orient my wheels, really, to, like, try to help, and it hits my tire sideways and breaks the axle. So I'm sitting there calling and messaging and trying to, like, get a hold of my professor for the final I'm supposed to be at, because I'm not going to leave my car just chilling there.
Right.
So it's like, I eventually got a hold of her, and she's like, yeah. It's just like, oh, that was you that I passed by coming in? So I eventually took that final, and she's like, yeah, it was the the most believable, not really excuse, but story for how you can't make a final because I saw it.
Because I literally saw you.
But no, but that's literally the stuff of my nightmares, is having to go do a final or something and having something happen that makes it not be able to happen.
I just have dreams a lot about not being able to stop a car. Which might partly be because, so after my car got squished by that guy when I was in college, then Morgan ended up taking that car because I was in a college town and I guess I didn't really need it. And the brakes went out on her as she was heading to, like, high school. She was, like, driving to school. The brakes went out on her. And so, like, ever since then, I've been, like, so paranoid about that. Like, that could have been me. That could have heckin' been me.
It's like, I don't know, I just find it's just annoying. And it's like yours, where it's like, you were only in the car for one of those, and it's like only one of those things, bad things happening in my car, I actually feel were my fault. Like, how am I supposed to know my car is going to just turn itself off? And then we tried to fix it, and it happened again.
Right.
And, like, I can't control another person running a red light, and, like, I did what I could. Like, I do all the things I'm supposed to, where it's like, you wait 3 seconds, look both ways, then you roll out, and it still happened. If I didn't do that, she would have T-boned me in the side, and I could have actually gotten hurt.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't wait and just went out into the thing, I would have been more in the intersection and would have gotten destroyed.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. And then, like, I could have, in hindsight, turned my wheels to roll up onto the curb probably and maybe saved that car, but in the moment, I didn't know what to do. I've never slid in my car before then. Like, I've done that thing where, like, you try to brake and then your auto locks turn on or whatever, where, like,
anti-lock brakes.
Yeah, your anti-lock brakes, where it's like it doesn't brake really, but it's like it's trying and it's like it's doing its thing. Like, that's happened, but I've never actually, like, hydroplaned or, like, spun out. Like, that's the first time it's ever happened, and, like, I don't know, it just happens so fast.
Well, and you were in such a bad place because it's kind of a tight area, so it's like... But yeah, it's just wild that, for me, it's like I have frequency of shit happening. That's my curse. For you, it's locations.
It's 2 different locations that, like, have...
That's so weird.
So I am so glad that DMAC's not going back for this semester. It's my final semester at DMAC here, this one, and it's all going to be online.
All right.
So this winter semester, I don't gotta drive out there, unless for whatever reason we need to use the testing center.
All right.
But I don't think I'll need to.
It's amazing.
Actually, I don't know if I have any other, like, lower key curse, because that's a pretty medium to high key curse. Both car related ones are immediately medium to high, because of, like, how annoying they are to deal with.
Right.
Like, it took like months to deal with each of those when I had to, like, deal with, like, insurance and...
Same. Mine were extremely inconvenient. Well, especially in the case of a hit and run, then I have to pay for it out of pocket. Like, you literally have no idea who did... Well, the one in Ames, I did know who did it, but it took him... The accident happened in January. It took him until May to finally basically fess up and take responsibility for it and pay for it. Which, at that point, I already had, so they just were refunding me at that point. But it was like... It's such a nightmare.
I was very lucky that the one that actually involved another person... She basically just claimed she did what you're not supposed to do and claimed, like, full responsibility. So, like, the officer and her own insurance. So, like, it wasn't really a battle.
Yeah.
Even though Iowa has a fun split liability thing where apparently... And it's happened to me and my uncle, where it's like... My uncle's is even worse, where it's like... He was parked on Court Avenue downtown, and someone hit his car, and... He was considered 10% at fault for having his car be there to be hit.
In a designated parking spot.
He was in a designated parking spot, but someone hit his car, and he was 10% at fault, so he only got 90% of the payout.
And this is new, because back when I used to have all of my accidents, it wasn't like that.
And it was the same thing for mine, which is, like, mine could be more argued, because you have to actually determine if, like... There's no way to know for sure that I did everything I was supposed to do. Even though she admitted full fault, the insurance is still going to fight that part.
Well, insurance is such a scam anyway.
So they tried to do 80-20 at first, and then they backed it off to 90-10, which was apparently if just having your car parked there gets you a 90-10. Apparently that's probably the best I was going to get off with. But I have a friend who basically, when I showed the picture from the police report of the accident, He was like, that's exactly what happened to me there, but I was the one who ran the light. And he was 100%, like, there wasn't a 90-10 then, and that was just a couple years before. So I feel like that's a really new thing.
New, yeah.
So like he did the exact same thing on the other end, and he was 100% at fault. Like it wasn't there was no 10% for the other person.
Well, and I was lucky too in the case of the one where I was actually in the car, because I think part of the reason the accident even happened was because school had just let out and there was a crossing guard, and so like it was a 4-way stop. And there was some confusion, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the lady who hit me just straight up ran the stop sign. Like, she even said that. She was like, I guess I just didn't stop. And it's like, you think? Mm-hmm. But the one nice thing also was that the crossing guard saw it happen. And so when the police were filling out the report, the crossing guard was the witness. And he was like, yeah, she just crashed into her. And I was like, yeah, she did. Mm-hmm. Well, because she was behind a truck, too. So it's like it was a 4-lane road. So I couldn't even see that she was coming, because she was on the other side of a parked vehicle, and it was like, that is a horrible surprise, let me tell you. Whoa.
Well, and what I was going to say, too, is that in a lot of ways, at least with the stuff at DMAC, it's like, yeah, it's unfortunate, it sucks, and I would consider it cursed, but part of it is also low-key blessed.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot worse places. Like, if my car overheated on the way to school, I would be on the side of the road in the cold with an overheated car, just like on the side of a highway.
Well, and that you didn't get hurt. And
yeah.
Like the accidents technically totaled the cars, but the cars weren't really that damaged.
No, it was like they were old cars
that
like were just like whatever most of it was probably the labor that would go into repairing them was worth more than the cars themselves.
Yeah.
Because they were like 2007. My Saab was a 2004, and my Buick was a 2007.
Well, and in the case of the Saab, like finding...
Well, and that's like an old luxury car they don't even have in the States anymore.
You also had your window shot out. I would also consider... That's more my kind of curse. In fact, when it happened...
Oh, on this street? Like, I was the only... Like,
Yeah.
It was like... Well, I feel like there was another one, too. Like, there was a couple.
The guy down there had his window shot out, too.
But it wasn't all the cars on the street.
Right.
It was just, like, a couple of them.
Yeah.
I kind of forget about that one, but...
Well, because I remember being like, my curse followed me, but it wasn't my car. Oh. Like, what does this mean? Like, that was the sort of thing that would happen to me. And so when that happened, I was just like, oh my gosh, I've passed my curse on? Which I don't know, maybe I have. Maybe that's why you've had all these... Because that was the first thing to happen. Was that window got shot out. I
just forget about that one. That one's less important to me nowadays.
I only remember it because it was hard to deal with because it was a Saab. It was like the pain in the ass of getting a new window.
It was like a $300 window.
Yeah. Don't shoot people's windows out. Why? Why would you? What's the point?
And it was under the amount of the deductible, so...
It always is, man.
It's like, thinking back, maybe I should have not called the police first and broken the other window in. Like, if I broke both windows, it's $500 deductible, and one window is $300. So if I broke both windows and it was $600, insurance would have covered it.
See, that's one of those insurances, or like insurance scam... Insurance fraud is a crime, but it's like, insurance is a scam in the first place. So, this is where my chaotic nature comes in.
It's like insurance is a scam until it's very useful. Like, I wouldn't have a car right now if it wasn't for insurance, and I didn't get insurance payouts. Like,
but at the same time, I'm already paying so much, and yet there's a deductible. Like, to heck with that.
Yeah, I mean, deductibles are weird. It's like there's parts of insurance that feel kind of like a scam, but then there's also parts where it's like if you didn't have insurance, you just get screwed. Almost
every time that I've had an accident, or rather that my car has had an accident, I've had to pay for the full repairs out of pocket.
Only one was that window. Like, hitting the curb and breaking my axle, like, they paid me, like, it was like $2,000 or something like that for that, or like $1,000 something, and I was able to use that as a down payment for a different car. So It's like I haven't had to really pay anything for...
Not me. I don't have that luckiness. I always have to pay for it out of pocket. It's very sad.
That's why yours are more low-key. Just
Yeah,
because they weren't damaging enough to have insurance cover them. Or is that more high-key if you have to actually pay for them?
Right, it becomes less of a nuisance if you suddenly have to come up with like $400. Because my deductible was $500.
Mm-hmm.
It was a real pain. I also had one car that like I constantly had to pour coolant into, constantly, or else it would just overheat and die. That was fun. I don't consider that a curse, though. That was just having a bad car. But yeah, anyway. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. Please share with us.
I feel like we need to end it on a more cheery note, a more wholesome note.
True.
I feel like that wasn't a very wholesome segment.
True. It was one of those segments that makes you feel good because
it starts
you hear
more
about...
wholesome because it's little tinies, but
it also just makes you be like, glad I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Glad I don't have those curses.
Well, it's like at the end, it's like all that car stuff was horrible, what was going on, but like I lived.
Yeah, it's all good.
Other than just being annoyed that it happened and the way it happened and feeling like DMAC is cursed.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, in the end, it wasn't so bad.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We could end the episode on the story.
Here's Albie.
Yeah, there's little Albie's cat.
This is the other white kitten if you're watching YouTube.
Right.
He's back.
Oh, what was that? Was that a silent meow?
He was cleaning himself, so I think he put
his tongue back?
He's blepping.
Oh, you're blepping on camera.
He's kind of doing a little blepp.
Oh, you're so cute. Your angry eyes and your little blepp.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
We can end the story on my bad IRL perception roll.
With your zucchini?
A couple days ago, I was out in the garden. I was pruning my zucchini plants that have become completely overgrown and wild. And I found 2 modest, kind of small zucchinis. And I was like, yeah, these might be harvestable.
You didn't send me the good picture.
And it's in the Discord, though.
Oh, true.
And then yesterday I went back out again to plant some new flowers and noticed the most monstrous zucchini I've ever seen in my life. It was about this big. Let's see, for those of you not watching, I would say...
Yeah, watching, this is a picture compared to her hand up here.
Yeah, it was about the size of my forearm, lengthwise, and then thicker.
It's bigger than my forearm. Like,
Yeah.
I put it up here, and it's very similar in shape to my forearm, but it goes up to my palm.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it's hard to describe to listeners, but it's like take a 6'4" man's forearm and make it go a little longer than that.
It was absolutely massive, and I went, how in the heck did I not see this? How?
Mm-hmm.
How?
And then that was going to set the tone of your perception rolls. But then you rolled like a 25.
But then the rest of them were bad again.
Well, but you rolled your first perception roll and you saw the zucchini. Because you saw the zucchini that day. So like
That's true. Yeah, because then we played D&D later that night, and like prior to my perception roll, which I will have you all know is my highest stat in D&D, but you wouldn't know it by the way I play. I just sat there and I was like, please see the zucchini, please see the zucchini, please see the zucchini. And on that first roll, I saw the zucchini. On the rest of the rolls, I never saw the zucchinis.
Mm-hmm. I just like that in our D&D games, I feel like everyone tries to make rolls for stats they have bad stats in. Like, what is it that Raeyn keeps trying to do? That's like a -1.
Raeyn always tries to do perception.
Yeah, and it's like a -1 or something.
Which
or
is
like,
her lowest, but it's my highest, and I also can't
and
get us anything.
I feel like TGC keeps having to do religion checks, and he has like a -1 religion.
Right.
And so it's like everyone's trying to do checks they're not skilled for.
Right. Maybe someday we'll talk about the joys of D&D.
That could be a whole different podcast.
Maybe that's a low-key curse. Actually, a
Low-
low-key curse is our friend in D&D. She now rolls okay because we're online. But when we were in person,
With the
her
dice.
dice are cursed.
Well, she has like weird dice. Didn't they determine that she has like bootleg dice? Like
yeah,
they're not.
they're also wrong.
It's like the way the numbers are on the dice aren't right.
Mm-hmm.
Like because they're supposed to like be like one number is supposed to be opposite of another number on official dice, and they're wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like the dice are rigged.
It's like they're
her.
legit cursed and just wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so every time she rolls anything, it's terrible. Like, it's awful. Her stats are atrocious. Like,
But I feel like she's been one of our best rollers online. Like I feel like she's consistently rolling really high.
yeah. As soon as we had, I mean...
Well, and it's unfortunate because she used those dice to roll her character sheet. So, like,
Yes.
like our DM keeps bringing up how unfortunate her character spec is. Which I feel like she should be allowed to re-roll once they realize that her dice are we're kind of bonked.
Maybe someday when we level, we can try
to
ask him to be like, can she just re-roll one stat?
I mean, she's doing well enough, honestly.
Yeah.
But
true.
Yeah, that could be its whole own podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little more wholesome to end it on to get going.
Next week we're gonna have a rather interesting conversation.
Which one?
Let's do 5.
Identity.
Yeah. It was kind of spawned a topic. So in last episode, when I said my name is Raeyn, but I almost said my real name, one of our listeners was like, "What the hell? Your name isn't actually Raeyn?" And I was like, "Nope." And then it spawned this whole conversation about identity and names and all this sort of stuff. And they suggested we do it for a next podcast. And I thought, hell yeah, it's interesting. So if you have any thoughts on your identity in relation to your name, because names are weird, right? Like, it's a thing that somebody gives to you without even knowing you, and then you just have to kind of live with it.
The way I describe it, and again, we can go further into just a little like precursor, is that like we, at least in this house, we tend to not name pets until we've had them for a while to kind of see what they're like, and then find a name that fits them based on like personality. But you don't do that with people.
No.
Like, people just get a name right off the bat or before they're even born. And then, like, whether that name fits or not, who knows?
Well, in the world of the internet now, we all have the ability to name ourselves, like, however we want to present ourselves. And I think that makes it even more interesting. Because I don't know that I would have... again, I don't want to go too deep into it.
Basically, this is the type of like stuff we're probably going to talk about next time, though.
Yeah.
So, like, if anything you've dealt with, any other stories that like you feel like you would want to share with us or share to other people for us to talk about along those lines, send them our way.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening, and thank you all so much for listening to the first episode. We were very pleasantly surprised for your support. Thank you. We will see you next time.
Albie is waving at you.
Bye, and have a wonderful and wholesome and beautiful day. Love ya. Bye.
To listen to me whine about how video games keep letting me down.
Oh. Whoa. I gotta say who I am. I'm a little Twitch.
What? I'm Lil Twitch.
What?
I'm Lil Twitch.
I'm a little Twitch. Getting as... Whoa. I almost fell out of the couch.
I'm Lil Twitch. Whoa.
There we go. Now I'm comfy and ready to go.
Lil Twitch.